So I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure this recording session is cursed.
Why is it cursed?
We're doing Ghostbusters for our first episode, and it just so happens that today, the day we're recording, is Ghostbusters Day.
Wait, is that what that was?
Chances?
It's like actually Ghostbusters Day?
Yeah, if you check Twitter, it's like Ghostbusters Day. They're tweeting all about it.
Jesus. I thought it was just that one thing. Wow. That is actually crazy. Hey,
it's pretty cursed, right?
It makes sense, though. Like, it makes sense.
Yeah, it's thematically appropriate, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
So, I guess we should introduce ourselves and what we're doing.
Yep. You go first.
I'm Kyle.
I'm Ross. We're
brothers.
Yeah, we're brothers from Glasgow, Scotland.
Yep, but we live in Canada.
Yeah, and I don't know.
And we don't know shit about movies.
No, but, for now, like, that's temporary. It will...
Yes. The goal of this podcast is to fix that problem.
Yeah.
So we're going through a whole bunch of all those classic movies that you're supposed to have seen, where people are outraged where you haven't seen them. Mm-hmm. But we're young and we haven't watched that many movies.
Yeah. But I bet there's a lot of people out there just like us that also haven't seen these movies that everyone expects us to. Well, it's not really everyone though, is it? It's a lot of the time like older people that have expected us to see these movies, I think.
Oh, I don't know. My fellow podcast host Nathan is always outraged when I haven't seen movies.
Okay.
So
maybe we are just uncultured then in general.
We're just Scottish barbarians, that's what we are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, let's get into it. We watched Ghostbusters, released in 1984, directed by Ivan Reitman, written by Dan Aykroyd, Harold Ramis, stars Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Sigourney Weaver. I guess we should start with the most basic question. Did you like the movie?
Honestly, like, right after I watched it, my friends, like, they asked me what I would give it out of 10, and I straight up said, like, 3 or 4.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, no, like, like, right after I watched it, I was not a fan. One day later, though, like, looking back on it, I don't think it was as bad as maybe I initially thought it was. I think I took it a little bit too seriously at first,
That's interesting. I actually quite enjoyed it. I thought there was a couple, like, really dated jokes and stuff like that. Like, all of the stuff involving Bill Murray and women, it's like, oh god.
I think one of the biggest things I got from the movie is like, wow, they were just really horny back then. Like, like, dude, every scene with Bill Murray is like crossing the line, Like,
it's creepy, yeah.
Yeah.
Like the scene where Sigourney Weaver is like trying to kick him out of her apartment and he just won't leave. And it's like, oh my gosh, take a hint, dude.
I will say things I liked about it initially, like just right off the bat. I thought it was written pretty well. Like I think the jokes were pretty funny. I don't think the jokes like,
other than the creepy kind of rapey stuff, most of the jokes have aged quite well. I mean,
yeah. Bill
Murray's character is creepy, but dry sarcasm always gets me.
Yeah, I know. It's like, the other thing I said was like, I feel like Bill Murray really carried it. Well, actually, I don't know if that's true. Because...
he does get the best lines, but I think the other characters are good as well.
Yeah. But there's a lot of like subtle facial expressions and stuff that Bill Murray makes, and it just like kills me. Like, I don't know why.
Yeah, he is great.
Yeah.
I mean, objectively, the theme song slaps.
Yeah, no, that's another thing I was gonna say. Just the music in general.
Yes.
All really good. Like, just perfect for the movie. Perfect fit.
I enjoyed how non-fantasy it is. Like, it's so, like blue collar is the word I used in my notes. Like, it feels very average, even though they're fighting ghosts. It's like, oh yeah, it's just their job. They're just wearing, like, boiler suits.
Yeah, no, I know. And to go with that, what's the girl in the show that Bill Murray wants to get with, or the movie that Bill Murray wants to get with? What's her name in the movie?
Dana?
Yeah, Dana. She doesn't make a big enough deal about what the fuck happened to her. Are we allowed to swear on this, do you think?
I've already sworn, so...
Okay. She does not make a big enough deal about what is in her fridge and what, happened to her eggs. She just kept sleeping in that house, you know? But I think that's kind of part of the movie, too, at the same time.
Well, they did say when she went to the Ghostbusters office, she hasn't been there for 2 days, and then when they went back, everything was normal, so...
Yeah. Yeah, so maybe she just thinks, she's going crazy or something.
I said this before we watched it, and it did hold true that I feel like I've already seen this movie, even though I've never actually seen it. There's so many... I don't know if you got that as well. There's so many, references and memes and stuff that I just recognize.
Yeah, I don't know, to me, it definitely felt like a classic. It felt like Back to the Future type thing, you know? Where it's yeah, I kind of see what you're saying. I don't know, some parts to me were very slow.
What parts?
I wouldn't say the story in general being slow. I just mean, specific scenes I feel like were kind of slow. I don't know, I don't know an example, just, scenes just, took longer than I feel like they would now. I feel like they dragged them on a little bit more, or there was more dead, what's the word? Just no talking or anything like that. Dead space?
Dead air?
Dead air. That's the one. Which I feel like doesn't happen as much in movies now, but like I said, just to preface for the people watching, we don't, like we said before, we haven't really seen many older classic movies, so for me, it's kind of hard for me to compare it to other stuff.
I think that's, you know what? Our reference for movies is Avengers, right?
Yeah.
And that's our point of comparison,
exactly.
And that's all we can do. It's taboo to mention special effects being dated, but my god, those stop motion dogs.
Yeah, no, it's man, when it was it was near one of the ones near the end of the movie when it was running back up to where it came from, up the stairs. It just it looked like a video game.
Yeah, it looked like an old
video game. Yeah, where you're about to reach the end of a level when he was running up there. I hate to say it didn't age well because it's obviously a really old movie. Not that old, but
it's double our age.
Yeah. But, some of them just looked... for people our age to watch it, it's you can't ignore it. It's hard to ignore, you know?
I don't know if you picked up on this one, but I couldn't... Once I noticed it, I couldn't not notice that so many of the shots of New York are matte paintings.
Oh, really?
When they're on top of the roof and stuff like that, and you look at it, it's very obviously a painting. They don't actually... Because they didn't have drones, right? They can't actually take shots of New York, so it's all paintings.
Sure. Specifically,
it was a shot of Dana in her apartment, and outside the window, it's so clearly a painting.
Yeah.
And it's yeah. I get it, but it's I notice it.
Yeah. But there was a couple of scenes with the dog, too, where it was I think it was most scenes where when they showed the dog's face, it was always laying down.
Yes,
because it's
they don't have a puppet that can actually move. Yeah. So
it's every time it jumped somewhere, it just laid down again.
Yeah, it's a big stone lion. No, sorry, it's a dog, but it's tired. You know,
yeah,
it needs its rest. I think other than that, I think the actual effects of the ghosts, which. Honestly, there isn't that much ghosts in this film.
Yeah,
Did you
that's
notice
what
that?
I was thinking about too.
There's the old librarian at the start.
Mm-hmm.
There's Slimer, the weird green globby glob thing.
Yep.
And then they have that weird montage when the city council guy comes over and shuts off their power and all their ghosts get out.
Yeah.
Right. And that doesn't really go anywhere. All of their ghosts are running rampant in the city, and it's
yeah,
we got bigger problems.
Yeah. Yeah, there was that, one montage of, them getting the book. Honestly, though, the ghosts didn't look that bad.
No, I thought the ghosts looked pretty good. The guy gets in the taxi, and there's this, weird zombie driving the taxi.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. But the amount of ghosts, like, the movie was not at all what I was expecting it to be like. Like, so, coming from someone who, like, somehow didn't know anything about the movie, like, at all, other than that they are the Ghostbusters.
You know the logo, you know the soundtrack, probably, you know the car.
Yeah, but, like, I had no idea there was demons and, like, Gozer and stuff like that. That, like, to me, that, as someone who didn't know what was happening, like, it took, like, a really strange turn, in my opinion. I was like, whoa, what the
It's like, I thought this was about ghosts.
like, I thought this was about ghosts, and now there's, like, demons and shit. It's like, whoa. I was not expecting it.
You know who I found a very strange character? Oh god, I can't even remember his name now. Ernie Hudson, the black guy who joins the squad,
yes.
like, halfway through the movie. It's like, he's just here now.
Yeah. Like, I don't understand why he was, even in the movie. Like...
It's so, like, if you're going to introduce him at the start of the film.
Yeah, like, exactly. Like, just put him at the beginning. And there was parts of it was so weird, because I remember when they were in prison, he was like, hey, I don't even know these guys. I've only been working there for 2 weeks or something.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I want my own lawyer.
Yeah, it's like, dude, like, I don't know. That whole thing was really weird to me. It was like, I feel like he wasn't necessary, or like you said, like, maybe they should have just had him at the very beginning. Is he in the other movies?
There's a sequel. I think he is in the sequel.
Yeah.
There's a sequel, and then there's a 2016 remake starring Melissa McCarthy.
That sounds kind of funny, actually.
See, that movie is widely hated.
Mm.
The remake.
Okay.
And just to annoy people listening, I have seen the remake before I saw the original.
Oh, really?
And I didn't hate it at the time, but I don't know, my perspective on Melissa McCarthy has shifted in the last 2 years, where it's like, I used to find her funny, but Mum and Dad, because of course we have the same Mum and Dad.
Yes.
We're watching it was like a Melissa McCarthy movie where she's a superhero or something, and oh boy, was it just not funny. It's like,
she's very hit or miss, I'd say.
It's just her comedy style of just, I'm just going to keep talking until I say something funny, and I'm going to talk about how fat I am. Isn't it funny that I'm fat? Watch me eat this Pringles chip because I'm so fat.
Yeah. It's like degrading jokes, so just like making a fool of herself, basically.
Yeah, I do think the main three had a really good dynamic, though. I know you said Bill Murray carried it. I really like Spengler, because he's just really weird and really awkward, and he feels like an actual scientist.
Definitely.
And I like
Danny Aykroyd.
Yeah, Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah, no.
He's kind of like, he's like the heart of the group.
Yeah, they're definitely needed in the movie. Like, Bill Murray couldn't have done it alone, but
Well, the problem is, Bill Murray's funny, but Bill Murray doesn't ever seem like he cares about anything.
Yeah,
like, that's part of the joke.
Yeah.
But, like, he's so apathetic about everything.
It's so weird, too, because he is like that, but at the same time, he's not an asshole. You know, like, he was actually pretty supportive of the group at times, I feel like.
Yeah.
Like, he's just so strange. Like
there's the scene at the end where they're like, we need to cross the streams. And he's like, there's a very high chance that we might not die or something. Mm-hmm. It's like, what the hell? I love this plan. I'm all in.
Yeah, and like I don't know, he's just strange. Like, after they kissed at the very end, he like did this weird face where he's like, I don't know if you saw that at the end. It was just like so random.
How do you feel about the short neighbor guy?
I loved him. I felt bad for him. He actually, I liked him as a character.
I know I've because I haven't seen movies. I know he's like a famous kind of character actor. That guy though, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I felt like he was a bit creepy. It's obvious that he's waiting at the door for her to come out. Like, they make reference to that a couple of times where it's like, he's waiting to invite her over to his lame party.
Yeah. I would say he would be, you know, like, today's equivalent of a simp.
Yes.
Like, I could never see him actually doing anything creepy. Like, you know, acting on anything, but, like, he would probably die for her. And she, like, barely knows he exists. Like, that's basically what it comes down to. you know, like, I felt bad for him for that reason, though. It's like, but yeah.
I mean, he did also have one of my biggest laugh out loud moments in the film, which is when he's running away from the badly rotoscoped dog, and he gets to the glass restaurant, and he's fine, like, let me in.
Yeah.
And they all look for a second, and they don't see anything because, I don't know, like, the dog is only visible to him.
Yeah, like,
and they'll just go back to eating.
Yeah,
it's like,
so
it's
good.
Just some crazy guy. It's fine.
To me, he gets bonus points because, like, he's Canadian, I'm pretty sure, and you can really tell. At least for Canadians, like, you can really tell in the movie that he's such a stereotypical kid, like, Nova Scotian. I'm pretty sure because that's what he said. He referenced Nova Scotia in the movie, I think.
Oh, I can't remember that.
It was some point during his party. It was like he talked about something that he got from Nova Scotia at the party, like some food or something.
Oh yeah, that's right. He says like the fish is straight from Nova Scotia because he's talking about how all the things in the party are cheap because he's an accountant.
Yeah.
And he keeps saying like, "Oh, I got these on sale. I invited clients because it counts as like a work expense."
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he's just pathetic.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, I liked him as a character, I think.
You know what I actually really liked? Their secretary.
Yeah.
Janice.
Yeah, she was good.
She doesn't take any shit.
No. She I'm trying to think about the characters and think about just if they would be the same if the movie were to be made today, you know? And I feel like
Bill Murray would absolutely be less creepy.
Right. And I feel like a lot of the characters are very it's similar to like the stereotypes of what they're trying to be. I think like that what's his name again? The Canadian guy, the creepy neighbor guy. Let's call him Gozer. Like he is such the stereotypical like creepy but not, like in love guy that doesn't have a chance, right?
He wasn't Gozer, he was the Keymaster.
The Keymaster, right.
Here, I'm on IMDb, I have a list of all the names here. Rick Moranis.
Yeah.
Is the actor's name.
And like so the receptionist, she's like her whole attitude and her voice as well is just so stereotypical like New York. Yeah, so, very Brooklyn. Yeah, very Brooklyn. I feel like nowadays movies don't do that as much. Like they don't heavily stereotype people. You know what I mean? Like they will do it, but like for Ghostbusters, like they went all out with the stereotypes. with Egon, the complete nerd, you know? Like
yes.
In every way.
He collects mold, spores and fungus.
Exactly, yeah. I love that scene.
Yeah, there is a lot of just great lines in this movie and just great moments. Mm-hmm. Like I love when they're in the lift going up to catch their first ghost and he turns on the machine and just like backs away.
Yeah. I do feel like we need some sort of structure for this, of like in order, because I feel like we'll go from topic to topic, but not actually be done with the topic. You know what I mean?
This is an early test episode.
Yeah.
Okay, it's fine.
Yeah. We
don't even have to release this if we don't want to.
That's true. Yeah, just because I want to like go back to like Bill Murray's creepiness, man. Because
go for it.
There's other scenes too where it's like when Dana was floating, whatever was happening to her, like being possessed, basically.
Yeah, she was possessed by of some variety.
Yeah, like
and being very sexual, shall we say? And
like, I remember when she was like floating, like he just like looked at her ass, you know, for like a solid scene.
That whole scene was so bizarre because like that was the one part where Bill Murray's total chillness about everything was really weird. Like. It felt really strange in the scene that he's not reacting more to this.
Yeah, exactly.
Where it's like, this woman is very obviously possessed, and he's like, yeah, I know you're possessed, but I'm still going to make some quips and some jokes. I'm not going to...
Yeah, like, there's so much stuff in the movie that's not... Like, it's like, whatever, you know? Yeah, this happened.
You know, the weirdest thing in the whole movie to me was when they're doing the montage of them, like, becoming famous. And there's a scene where Dan Aykroyd has a dream about getting
what the
sucked
hell
off by
was
a ghost.
That?
What was that scene? Why was that there? It's so bizarre.
I forgot that happened. Yeah, there's a random scene where... when I was watching it, I couldn't tell if it was a dream or not.
It shows like he's like sleeping, and then it like fades into dreamland, and he's wearing like this weird like 1800s jacket or something, and it goes sucks him off. It's why is that in the movie?
I forgot that happened, man. That is so bad.
Of course you forgot to happen, because that has nothing to do with anything. Yeah. It's just a thing that happens.
That is so funny.
And it's so strange.
What did you think of the Peck guy? He's the guy that basically goes in and tells them...
The guy from the environmental board or whatever. I thought he was a fun idiot villain.
Yeah. Like, do you think that in the movie when he makes them turn off the machine, that and he's so like for turning it off, like he doesn't give a shit what everyone else thinks, like he's like, we're turning this off. Do you think that like he's just an idiot for like do you think the writers know that he's just not thinking about the fact that like shit could go wrong if they turn it off? Like, do you think...
Well, he fully believes that they're fakers, right?
Yeah.
That they've made it all up. And when he's in the scene desperately pleading to the mayor, like, they use gases to make people see things and all this.
Yeah. So he's like 100% sure that nothing wrong will happen if they turn it off.
I do love in that scene where he says, if he tries that again, you can shoot him. And it's like, you don't tell me what to do.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Like, even the cop is tired of this guy's shit.
Yeah, he's just like... Yeah, he was... I liked him as a character, though. He was a good villain.
Yeah. I love that scene with the mayor where, like, a random, like, priest walks in. It's like, I will not comment on the religious... Yeah. On the religious... what's the word I'm looking for? The ramifications of these events.
Yeah. And why do they, like, get so intimate when he first enters the room, too? Do you remember that?
I thought they were gonna kiss! It's so bizarre!
It was like they already had... It's like they were together or something. They're, like...
It was so strange. I don't know if that's, like, a... Like, we're not religious. I don't know if that's, like, a religious thing, but it was very gay.
Yeah, and... Like, little things like that, I wonder, like, do the writers do that knowing that it's, like, super, like... awkward and funny, or is it just like a flaw in the writing? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard. I mean, like you said earlier, I think the movie is well written. Like, and I think a lot of the jokes hold up because it's very character based, as opposed to like they're not making lots of references to current events that we don't understand. All of the comedy comes from the characters and them being the characters.
True. Another complaint. Not really a complaint, but like I guess observation that I made is like not much really happens in the movie, you know? Like, that's dependent on the way they make it out to be, because like, the world was gonna end, right? But like, yes. It didn't feel like there was that much pressure.
That's because Bill Murray's there, and it's like, oh, I don't give a shit about any of this. Like, he doesn't react to any of this like it's a big deal.
Another thing I remember now is when the building was falling apart, and like there was stuff falling from the ground, and none of it was hitting anyone in the crowd.
Yes. You know, I do know one piece of... You know when they're outside of the building and the ground starts to like cave in?
Mm-hmm.
That was all practical, and they basically rebuilt the street of New York to get that shot.
Wow.
They rebuilt the entire set just to get the ground falling down.
That's crazy.
It's a weird one too, because it very clearly shows like they all immediately fall in a hole, and then they just climb out again. It's like it was weird.
It was so pointless. It's like, obviously they're not dead.
Their rise to stardom is very quick in the movie. Like, they start off and they're a joke and no one believes them, and they go to Dana's house and they don't find anything other than Bill Murray's a creep. And then the next one, they get a call from like a wedding place or something, like a hotel, and they catch a ghost. And then suddenly they get a montage where everyone believes them and they're just catching ghosts all over the place, and it's fine. It's very fast, that part of the movie, and you kind of expected that to be the movie.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. That's what I was saying. Like, it took a very different turn than I was expecting.
I do like that they drop in like little little lore bits, like they talk about the guy who made the building was clearly like this crazy weirdo who designed the building to be this portal. I thought that was a fun little detail.
I don't even remember that.
Dan Aykroyd brings out the blueprints and he's like, this building was designed by a crazy person. All of these beams are organized in a way to attract ghosts or whatever.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
I thought that was a neat little detail, and like, Gozer is like I think they made up a culture. I can't actually remember, because I don't think Gozer is based on a real god or of some Aztec culture or something. But
yeah, I never actually checked.
On that though, I love the choice to make the big bad at the end a giant marshmallow man.
That was good.
It just popped in there.
Something I will say, I was really curious as to like how they were going to kill it. And although I will say that this crossing of streams was pretty funny, mm-hmm. I thought they were going to do something different than use their gun for like the 5th time, you know what I mean? Like it's like
that's all they have.
I know it's I was curious. I'm like, how are they going to do this? It's like, okay, they're just going to, I don't know. But
they cross the streams to reverse the polarization of the particles, or whatever he said.
It's just funny because it's like earlier in the movie they're like, yeah, I mean if you cross streams it'll probably kill you, and then they were completely fine when they did it.
You know, that's setup payoff.
Yeah.
That's Chekhov's cross stream.
Mm-hmm.
I do love the look and the sound of the technology though, like that noise when they turn it on and it goes pew.
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. It's like it's so like futuristic sounding, but it's obviously not at all.
I mean, I kind of love it though. Like it looks like a vacuum cleaner, right? It looks like something that you would just get in like a shop.
I need to look at it.
And I think that's what works about it. Like, they didn't try to make it look all futuristic. Like, thinking back to the remake now. In the remake, their packs have like these weird, like, they're like circles and they have like these glowy, like, rings on them and stuff. And they look a bit more sci-fi.
Yeah.
And also, like, they have like different versions of the gun. Like, one of them has like 2 pistols that shoots out ghost stuff.
Mm-hmm. Whereas in the old movie, it like actually looks like they just made it from scratch.
It looks like a device. Yeah,
like they just ran.
It looks like something we built in that firehouse. It's also super weird that they don't have a scene where they build the stuff. They just cut to the next scene and they have all of this equipment now. It's really strange.
Yeah, I remember that. Because the scene jumps to them like putting their uniforms on and stuff and getting their guns out. It's like, where did this come from? Like,
it's just like, I guess they just built all this stuff off screen.
Mm-hmm.
I did. There was just a tiny note I noticed, which is the credits are like 5 minutes long, and I thought, well, that's cute.
Oh, is
the credits? The credits to like Avengers is like 20 minutes long.
True.
It's just so many like CGI artists and all this.
Yeah.
It's like 5 minutes. That's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
That's no credits at all.
Yeah, and there's probably other stuff too, like makeup artists and stuff that just like I feel like back then they probably just like how much makeup do you think Bill Murray has in that movie? You know.
Bill Murray strikes me as a guy who refuses to wear makeup.
Yeah. I think though I will say like watching Ghostbusters makes me want to watch more Bill Murray stuff because I think he's a pretty good actor, you know.
He's pretty funny, yeah. I mean, I think Groundhog Day is also on our list, so
yeah, for sure.
So in the remake, all of the original actors except for Harold Ramis, because he died, make like cameos in the remake, but they're all like bads. Like Bill Murray plays like a ghost skeptic he's basically the Peg character who comes in and says, I don't believe anything you're doing, but he just seems like so tired and just like he doesn't want to be here, and he's just like, let's just get this scene over with. Like he has no, and like, and this, like he has that quality too where he's tired, he doesn't want to be there, but it's intentional. Like it's part of the character as opposed to just like he actually literally doesn't want to be there.
Yeah, because I was going to say like to me, I think it would be understandable if he didn't want to be there. Because I feel like his entire life since Ghostbusters has been people coming up to him and asking him, like, about Ghostbusters, you know? Or, like...
They're not asking him about voicing Garfield in the live-action Garfield films?
Like, people... he probably thinks about Ghostbusters, like, every other day of his life, you know? Because people are probably always like, who are you going to call him, so...
He's famous for other films, though, to be fair. I think most of the people in this movie are.
That's fair.
I know that Dan Aykroyd is famous for being absolutely batshit insane.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much you know about Dan Aykroyd, but he is like a crazy conspiracy theorist.
Really?
He talks about like alien abductions and all this, and like 9/11 trutherism and all this stuff.
Wow.
He's mental.
I did not know that. I knew he made vodka because my friend bought some.
Yeah, he makes Crystal Skull vodka.
Yeah. Because
it's based on the Crystal Skull. You remember Indiana Jones 4?
Mm-hmm.
And how it's about loosely related to these crystal skulls?
Yeah.
So, I don't know the exact details, but like in the movie, some people think that they're alien skulls. And Dan Aykroyd is full on board with this. He thinks they're definitely aliens. That's why he named his vodka after them.
Yeah.
There's a great interview where he's doing an interview with Larry King. Do you know who Larry King is?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing an interview and they're drinking the vodka, and as Larry King takes a sip, he goes, "Wonderful." It's like he clearly hates it, but he's just having a pretty face.
It's a pretty sick looking ball, though. As far as vodka
goes. It's true. You know, it's pretty ballsy to put your vodka in a skull.
For real. Wow, yeah, I didn't know he was crazy. That's pretty funny. Maybe Ghostbusters kind of fucked him up a little bit.
No, I think he's one of the writers on the film, right? Dan Aykroyd and Ivan Reitman. So I think my understanding is the movie was actually way more like insane with his theories about like ghosts and all these like weird demons and stuff, and the other writers like, no, you have to tone all that crap down.
Yeah,
you need to rein in your crazy.
Yeah, because if it were to be that crazy, it probably wouldn't be as mainstream as it is, I'd assume. Like,
no, it works because it's so like not crazy. Like, it's so they see these crazy ghosts and stuff and they just treat it like it's normal day. Like, they're not like, oh my gosh, a ghost, this is incredible. They're like, well, I mean, so, like Dan Aykroyd and Harold Ramis are like, wow, this is crazy. But you've got Bill Murray there. It's like, so what do we do?
Yeah. I don't think they find it crazy enough, though. Still, the other people, like, they find it crazy, but I still don't think they find it crazy enough.
I mean, yeah, that's because like I'm gonna try using. I've got their character names in front of me. Like, Spengler is just really weird, and I love his introduction. Like, he's scanning the table.
Yeah,
like, what's he doing?
Yeah, and also there's another one I just thought of. You know the receptionist lady. Remember when he was just under her desk?
Yes. Well, it's another thing that it's a bit dated, but this one worked for me. Like, where she obviously has like a crush on him,
for sure,
and he just does not give a shit. Like,
he probably doesn't even notice. I'd say, like, he just, like, he's a nerd. Like, he literally has no idea, probably.
I kind of read it like he does notice, and he finds it extremely awkward, and he doesn't want to deal with it, because they have the scene where the guy they've got the crazy guy in their apartment, and she's like, I don't trust this guy, I think you're gonna die, and she's like hugging him, and the phone rings, like, I'll get it immediately. Like, immediately wants out of that situation.
Okay, yeah, so maybe he did know then. I just found the desk one funny, like, when he came out of the desk, because why was she like why was she sitting there?
Yes, it was very strange.
Yeah, I don't know. I think with the movie, though, you kind of, if you're gonna, like, you have to go into accepting that a lot of it doesn't make sense, and that's what makes it funny, you know?
I don't know if I'd say there's things that don't make sense. Like, I think most of it was explained okay. Like, they've got Gozer, and they've got the key master, whatever, and they come together and they summon the no, Zul. She's possessed by Zul. Gozer is the big bat.
Yeah.
Who looks like a David Bowie character.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Yeah, no, like they explain it well. I guess I mean like their reactions to stuff. Like you kind of just have to like get past the fact that the way the characters act aren't how a real person would act in those situations. And it's it's just like you have, like, they probably did that on purpose.
It's a comedy.
Yeah.
I guess going into it, did you know it was a comedy?
Actually didn't, I don't know, like, yeah, no, I don't think so.
Because now I'm curious, because you said it was a 4 out of 10 when you first watched it. Like, was that because you were expecting a serious movie?
No, I think I was expecting more Ghostbusting.
I mean, I guess. And I can see that.
I guess, like, why did, like, I was just confused as to how suddenly Dana and the creepy neighbor turned into, like, the main antagonists for a little bit. You know, like, very briefly. But
they were
still
possessed by demon dogs.
Yeah,
I don't understand in that one scene why she wants to have sex with Bill Murray.
Yeah.
Like, what? Why?
Well, it's because she thought that Bill Murray was the gatekeeper, right? Or the key holder. Sorry.
And what them doing it summons Gozer?
I don't know.
I mean, they do when they finally get together. They do like smooch. So I guess that is it. She's a dog now.
Yeah.
There is a lot of like just quotable lines, mostly from Bill Murray.
Yeah, definitely.
It's true, Your Honor. This man has no dick.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. So I guess I'll ask you: do you think that people our age, if they haven't seen it, like, do you think they should watch it?
I would say yes. I think so. I think as long as you're prepared for a couple, like, weird dated things, which I feel like we're going to be saying that an awful lot in this podcast. Yep. Be prepared for weird dated things. Like the scene introducing Bill Murray where he's, like, shocking the guy and not shocking the girl even though she gets it wrong. It's like, you can't do that anymore, Bill Murray. It's not okay. I mean, I would argue you shouldn't have done it at the time either, but... Because it's like, it's not funny. It's like, it's just weird. It's like, isn't this girl like a student? Especially
because he's so weird. Like, he's very serious when he's doing it, you know? Yeah,
but if you're prepared for stuff like that, I think most of the comedy still holds up. Because, like I said, it's character-based and it's not referential based. It's timeless. It's not it's aged well.
Yep.
What about you? You said you rated it a 4 out of 10.
I think, like, I would say yes, like, this is a classic and you should probably watch it, although I think I was somewhat disappointed because I feel as though it was maybe, to me, a little bit overrated. Because when you hear about Ghostbusters, like, you hear about, like, you only really hear about the music and stuff like that and all the, like, fun, exciting stuff. And I guess in my head, like, I forgot that it was, like, dated quite so heavily.
It's no Iron Man.
Yeah, it's... Like, you have to like remember that it is an old movie and it's gonna look disappointing at times.
It's definitely slower than a modern movie, and I think we're gonna find that a lot as well. That, like, our generation, we're known for our short attention spans. We love our jump cuts. We love things going fast.
Exactly, and yeah. What do you think about What did you think about the camera work?
I thought it was good. There wasn't, like, any specific shots where I'm like, wow, what a great shot. Like, it was, it was fine.
See, like, again, like, I don't know if it was good for that age of movie. I know there was a lot...
I don't think it was going for, like, cinematic masterpiece filmmaking, right? It's a comedy. It's fairly, like, flatly shot, you know? I don't think it really stood out as bad, so...
I also think, too, like, if you watch it for the first time now, you're not going to enjoy it as much as someone who watched it when they were younger. Like for me, like, for Back to the Future, I love Back to the Future because there's so much nostalgia for me. And I can accept that Back to the Future doesn't look that good anymore because I just love it because I've grown up watching it. But if you're watching Ghostbusters at our age, it's like... And if you haven't seen it before, you kind of don't feel the same way to it.
Yeah, you have to get used to, like, low-quality cameras.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something you even think about. Like, looking at you on webcam right now looks better than the film just because cameras are better now.
Yeah,
because,
sure.
like, every single shot has, like, a graininess to it, which you just don't get in modern films. I still think it's worth a watch if you're... Do you think people are going to be offended that we're calling this film old?
I don't know, because we're probably going to watch at some point way older films than this.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we've got, like, films from the 50s on our list,
but,
so...
Okay, like, let's say we want the people watching this to be our age, I'd say.
Our age.
So, like, for us, it's old. Yeah. Straight up.
Yeah,
it's an old movie. So,
anything that came out before we were born is old.
Yeah. Yeah, especially if it's, like, almost double our age, you know? It's like, it is old to us.
So I guess now we need to decide what we're going to watch next.
Yeah.
What's our setup here? Because we've picked this first one. Maybe now we go back and forth. Where you pick one, I pick one, you pick one.
Yeah, no, I like that. We could do a Disney movie.
I'm good with a Disney movie.
Like a classic, like, Disney princess movie.
I mean, we could go really classic and go with Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Which I think is, like, the original.
I'd be done.
You up for that?
I'm up for that.
See, on my podcast, on Name Not Included, we don't do outros. We just end it.
Oh.
And I like that because it's, like, it's funny. But we could do outros. We could have a set outro.
Yeah.
Like, most people at the end of podcasts, like, say, this is where you can find me on Twitter and such and such.
Yeah. It just feels so weird to do, doesn't it?
Yeah, I guess you just get used to it. But we can give it a try. Let's give it a try, shall we?
Okay.
Don't worry, I can edit all of this conversation.
I know, yeah. I figured.
Well, I've been Kyle. You can find me on YouTube at Kyle the Scot, or on Twitter at Kyle the Scot, or Kyle the Scot in most places.
Yeah, I've been Ross. Where can people watch this?
Hopefully we'll be available on where you can find podcasts and maybe YouTube, because I collect YouTube channels, as you well know. I'm up to with this I'll be up to 4.
I didn't even know that, man. That's crazy. 4? Jesus.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you guys for watching our first episode.
Listening. It's a podcast.
Listening? God damn it. I'm so, I'm not used to this.
See you next time.